Let's see. Okay. So toning the canvas would not be a bad idea. But since I don't have a toned canvas, I'm just gonna start on a white canvas looking for one. I don't want to do the 12 by 16, it's too big. So maybe I'll do a 9 by 12, just to, quickly show you how I would start.
Is that a canvas?
Yeah, it's a canvas pad. So it's a canvas.
On a board?
It's actually cardboard.
Oh.
Very smooth.
Okay.
But these are great. These are made by Fredericks. When you go paint outside, you want to bring something that's light and that's lightweight and not too thick. So I like this for that reason.
So what is it called? A canvas board? Or?
Yeah, let me show you. Oh, canvas panel. So this is what it's called.
Cut edge.
Cut edge canvas panels. And this seeds Fredericks. And see, in this case, this was a package of 25 that I bought, but they have smaller packages. This is a 5 by 7, but they have all sizes.
What outlet did you get it from?
Probably got this from either Michael's or from Dick Blick.
Dick Blick, yeah.
I don't think they have it in the Michael's store, but I ordered online.
Oh.
All right, let's clean this up. My palette. Ooh, ooh. This is my glass palette. That's why I clean it with the razor blade. So while I'm doing this, you can initiate your painting too. You don't have to necessarily wait for my every move.
So wait, so what am I doing now? Acrylic or oil?
I don't have oil, so I always do acrylic.
Okay, so I'm not working on this one. Those.
You
Okay.
could be working on that one. Because you do have oils. I mean, if you want to, you can.
I'll do it. I can do it later.
Okay. All right. So this is good. Clean this up.
So what have you got, 9 by 12?
Yeah, I'm just doing a quick 9 by 12 just to show you.
Okay, so I'm going to use the same size because that'll help me.
All right. And the colors that I use are always the same ones. So I use titanium white, canyon yellow.
Color white? Titanium?
Titanium white.
Yeah, titanium white. And then what color?
Then canyon yellow.
Cad yellow?
Canyon yellow, medium. Then canyon red, medium. then the alizarin crimson, then ultramarine blue, and cobalt blue. That's it.
That,
I have these other blues, but I'm not gonna use.
oh, okay, I was gonna say that, kind of like a,
It just happened to be on my palette because I did something else with them. All right. There. So I don't have your photo, but I kind of have this thumbnail here that I'm going to use.
okay,
So to start with, I mean, I would potentially, you know, tone the canvas with an orange, but at this time I'm not going to do this. So because
okay,
if I do this, then that will take the remainder of the class.
yeah,
What I like to do sometimes is use the orange to do a rough drawing with very watery. I'm gonna go like this so you can see. Very watery color. And just do a rough drawing, so I indicate my horizon line. And then I know that I have my path. This is the grass on this side. And it goes down like this, but then it has like a little stair. So that would be for the grass on this side. And then we have the grass on the other side. I kind of did it like this.
I can put this painting up here, back up there, in case you wanna
Okay,
reference it.
okay. And now that you have put that there, I realize that this is too much to the middle. So you can just use a paper towel to erase something. So this is more like over here. And it almost immediately veers. And I like having this like this and open it up. It'd be like this. Yeah, this is good. And then there is this other grass here. This could be a little lower. But there's this little grass here. And so we have the grass here. And this is the ocean.
Yeah, I cheated a little in the photo. You hardly see any ocean on the left side, but I wanted to put it in so that it would be clearer that you were really down at the beach, but.
Yeah. So this here would be the ocean. And then this grass here, I like that it goes higher than the ocean on this side. So I'll just put it like this. All right, so now I have my composition, more or less. So now that I have the composition, I just paint it. So I'm gonna start by putting the path in. So it's kind of like a nice sand color. And your sand color, it's kind of like a cool sand color that you have, I think.
Yeah.
So I start by using alizarin crimson with a little bit of
In the
yellow.
photo, there wasn't so much blue, but it seemed to work out to put in, I don't know, it seemed to make the path recede more if I put in the blue.
Yeah, yeah. So there's more blue on this side than there is on the other side. So let me just go like this. This is a little too dark. I'm gonna add a little bit of this. Still too dark. Now I'm going with white right over everything. I'm just indicating, you know, where my path is. Putting in an initial color. So on the other side, it's going to be a little lighter. So I've added a little yellow to it. And this is your chance to readjust a little bit if you want to, you know, readjust your composition and move something. You can still do it later. So right now, this color is responding to the white because I didn't tone my canvas before I started. So it looks dark, but I'm not going to rechange it until I put the rest of the colors in. So I've covered all of this section. And now I'm going to do my sky. But before I do, I'm going to clean this. Now your sky is kind of like it's a purplish gray, darker on the right, then lighter on the left. So I'm going to use some cobalt blue with a teeny little bit of my alizarin crimson, some white. This is the right color. Oh, looks pretty close.
Yeah, I think what I had up there was ultramarine. Looks like it's ultramarine to me. You know, it has that. Yeah.
Well, it looks blue, but it looks purple here. But I can use the ultramarine.
No, I was just telling you for your reference.
Yeah. So as we come to the middle, there's more white. This music is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, I don't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I moved my computer, so can't hear it as much. Well, I didn't want it to be too loud.
I wanted to be able to hear you.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be too
loud. My hearing in my left ear is really bad, so.
Okay. You have an hearing aid?
No.
Not yet.
Right. I can really hear pretty well, except if there's two different sounds, like when you were talking as I was opening the door at the brush and that little bell was ringing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's bad when there's a whole second sound that filtered out.
I know what you mean. I started having a little bit of a problem when listening, when there is, like, when I'm in a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. But my mom is almost deaf in one ear, and her mom was like that too, so I wouldn't be surprised if it also happens to me. It's happening to my brother. All right, so I've put my sky and I've put my my sand, my path,
Yeah,
and I'm looking at your painting behind you. Squinting my eyes, I can see that the sky is lighter on the left than the path, but on the right they're pretty equivalent in terms of tone. So now I'm going to add that grass. Oh no, first I'm going to add the ocean. I ran out of white. Here's my white. Oh no, come on, white. Over here. I don't know what I did with my white. Anyway, this one will work. Oops. Okay. This is still titanium white, it's just a different brand. So I was gonna do, yeah, I was gonna do that ocean. What color did you use for the ocean?
it looks to me like it maybe is at least in part cobalt,
Yeah.
maybe with a little ultramarine in there.
Mm. Well, the part of the ocean that's closer to horizon is usually a little more pinkish.
Oh, really?
Yep. So now the big thing is to make it straight. There. Pretty good. And try to make it a smooth edge. So while it's still wet, you can come back with the sky color, kind of blend it together like you do with the oils. There. Okay. And as it comes down, we know that we want to make it dark. So I'm using cobalt blue. I put a little bit of yellow pale in it. Because it looks like it's a little bit of a teal color, your ocean. So I'm making sure that I'm going past the edge of this grass on the right here. And I'll paint over it. With the grass. As I'm coming down, I'm making it even darker. Because as we discussed, this is where we want the biggest contrast between the path and the ocean. All right. So now I have this. And the pathway doesn't have to be completely, completely straight, because the pathway could be sideways a little bit, like you have it, I think, sideways a little bit. So now I'm going to go back into my pathway and make the pathway color. And I'm going to put a lot of white. Make it more like a little sideway pathway. So this is my pathway, and I'm trying to add a little light into pathway by adding a little bit of yellow. So now we've put some light here. So before I go too far with this, I need to add my grass, which is nice orangey. So yellow and red, but of course a little bit of alizarin in the mix. So the grass is like a blurb, but only at the end will you be adding, you know, a few blades here and there to represent the grass. So right now I'm just doing a big zone of the grass color, and as it goes further in the background, it has more blue in the grass because it loses its last color so that it recedes. So less yellow, more blue and red, bit of white to make it more like an ochre color. On this side, it just ends here. All right, and then we want to do the other side. Darker here at the bottom, but not too dark necessarily. And with a little bit more vibrant. A little white in it, a little blue. Making sure that I cover on the white space, and then here make sure to go over whatever ocean portion I had put there. This is my dune. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you make it interesting shapes and varying the colors. I'm doing this. And you could have a few blades of this grass in the sand here, like I put on my, maybe just to say that it's not completely empty. And of course here at the bottom it'll be darker because there's always this darkness where where it starts. Now this looks funny here as I'm looking at it, so maybe it's because I need to go a little higher with my grass. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I did online. I had it kind of a little higher and then come down very thin on kind of going out towards more into the ocean.
Yeah. Maybe the path is like this. So now I started it. This is just a 10-minute painting.
So if there was more time, what would you do to it now?
I would go back over everything.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, now it's, I mean, once you have put this like this, then, okay, then I would ask myself, is this the composition that I want to do? And I would turn it upside down, and look at it, and you know, say, okay, well, where do I want to put variation in this grass? Is this the right height for the ocean? Is the ocean straight? Do I want to lower this grass or I want to raise it? You know, now's the time to do these things. And then, you know, sometimes what happens with the ocean, like when you look at it upside down, sometimes you see things. Like, for example, as I'm looking at it upside down, I'm thinking, maybe it might be interesting because a pathway is oftentimes in a dune, it's oftentimes like curvy.
Yeah,
How about if I were going like this with my ocean? Like a little curvy thing. That might work. Yes, see, it already works better.
yeah,
So, I mean, you have to play and have some fun with it.
yeah. And then you, for the different colors and the blades on the dunes and what kind of brush would you use? And
Well, Julie, I think you have a good sense of all of these things, but because our hour is over now.
I know.
But you know, I
Okay.
have different brushes. I mean, it's not so much about the brush that you use, but you can, if you want to do some blades, you can practice on your palette if you're unsure. And if
Yeah.
it works on your palette, then you can when you're painting. If it
Yeah.
doesn't work on your palette, then maybe you can change and try another one. I
Yeah,
tend to just use something like this
yeah,
and go.
yeah,
Try not to do it too big because you're going to break another light.
yeah,
Or sometimes I use this.
yeah.
Well, was that helpful?
Very, very much so.
Because this is a recording, so then you're going to be able to watch this again.
Nice.
And you know, why don't you try painting your painting in it, and then maybe voila, it'll all come together. And if not, and you want to take another hour, you know where to find me.
Yeah. Well, I know you're going away for what, at some point in time.
Yeah, I'll be going away in August, at the beginning of August.
Beginning? Okay.
So next week, early in the week, if you wanted to do another hour. If not, then in August, I want to focus on producing for the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I find that when I stop producing and I